What's up, guys? Reapshow here. So today I'm going to be ranking every Michael Myers house in the Halloween franchise from the worst to the best. Now, to be fair, I honestly like most of the Myers houses in the franchise. There's only really a couple that I'm not a big fan of, and I'll get into why that is. So let's kick things off here. I've got 9 total houses. Starting off at the very bottom of the barrel, number 9, Halloween 5. Now, if you take this house at just like face value, it's a creepy looking house. I will give it that. But the problem that I've always had with it is that it looks nothing like the original. It's absolutely 1,000% different. I mean, this is like a straight up mansion, and it's like the continuity is just, come on. Like, you couldn't find a house that just kind of resembled it. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but like when you go to that extreme, it's just distracting, you know, especially when fans were probably waiting for a return to the Myers house. I mean, the last time we really saw the Myers house was 2, right? So it's like, you know, fans have been waiting for it, and then they get this and they're like, what is it? This is not the Myers house, right? So it's always bothered me. It's always been such a bizarre decision, in my opinion, that they chose this house. Now, I've heard reasons as to why that, you know, they wanted more space to film bigger action scenes, that they couldn't find a house that more closely resembled the original, which I don't know. I mean, I just don't really buy that. It's like, I just feel like they didn't really want to. I feel kind of like maybe the director had his vision, and I get it, but like when you pick a house that doesn't even remotely resemble the original house, it's distracting and it's kind of confusing. It's like, it's such a flub. I mean, there's so many flubs in that film, but that's a big one for me. It's always been such a strange decision, and that is why it's at number 9. Number 8, the Halloween 2 house from Halloween 2 2009. Now, it's barely in the film. It's in that scene where Loomis is like filming for his documentary. He's basically become this like profiteer. He's such a garbage person in that film. So it's barely in it, but the reason it's at the bottom is I've never found the Myers houses from the zombie films to really resonate. I don't. They're creepy looking, but I wouldn't really say they're really, you know, as much of a part of the film as so many of the other ones are in the franchise. They're just kind of not really that integral to the plot, and it's not the same house from 2007, but it does look much more similar to that house than 5 does to the original. So I'll give it props there, but it's just not that memorable to me, you know, and that's why it's towards the bottom. Right above that at number 7, Halloween 2007. Same deal. You know, I feel the same way. You get obviously much more of it. I do like the trashy nature of it. I really do like that pivot. You know, for the longest time I hated that pivot, but I will say I kind of like it. But again, it's just, it doesn't really resonate with me. It's just not that memorable, you know, and that's why they're both kind of side by side towards the bottom. Number 6, Halloween Resurrection. This is a pretty cool looking Myers house. It was built on a soundstage, and I really like the decrepit look. I think that it looks really good, and the only reason it's like closer to the bottom is because I absolutely hate how they have this like underground tunnel system where Michael actually lived. It's like, what, you know, they try to kind of, you know, have like this dungeon where they kept him, and it's like some of it's supposed to be staged, but some of that stuff was there. So it's like, you know, in some ways I get they're trying to expand on Michael, but it's like, that doesn't work, right? You know, because it makes him seem like he was like abused, and it's like, again, we're kind of dipping our toes into like what Zombie did that I don't feel like that really resonates as much as like just this kid who just snapped. A normal kid, was, no red flags, and that's what makes it scarier for me. But I really do like the house in this. It's just that like underground tunnel system that I've just never really liked. But overall, the house does look pretty damn cool. That's definitely one of a few highlights in the film, because it's pretty terrible. Moving on to number 5, the Halloween Kills present day house. I love how it looks almost exactly as the original, except it's got a more modern look to it, because Big John and Little John live in it, right? So it's been renovated, so it has a more modern look to it, and I guess that's kind of why it's at number 5. But I really love the attention to detail and how closely it resembles the original. And I love the fact that it plays such a part in Halloween Kills. So I like it. I really like the fact that it's such a centerpiece, where the final act pretty much just takes place in the Myers house, and I really do like that. So yeah, I do like that Halloween Kills present day house. Number 4, Halloween 6, the Curse of Michael Myers house. This is a perfect example of a house that does not exactly look the same as the original, but it's close enough to pass. And I've always had a ton of nostalgia for this film and the house, and it's 100% bias on my behalf. I have nostalgia towards it, because this is one of the Halloween films that I really grew up watching the most of, and I have such a soft spot in my heart for this film. I just love so much about it. Is it perfect? No, but I really do like the house in this film, and it is a little different than the original one, but it almost looks like it passes. And the thing is it doesn't look drastically different. There's a few differences with like the upper level and everything, but you could almost make an argument maybe they made an addition, right? But I really like the house, and it's to me close enough to the original, and that's why it's in my top 4. Number 3, the Halloween Kills flashback. This almost looks exactly the same as the original, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It really, there's nothing that I see that is like, okay, that wasn't perfect there. It's pretty damn close to being perfect. I absolutely love it. I don't see much of a difference between this and the original. It's just knowing that it's not the original that, I guess that would be the only thing. So I love the flashback scenes, again, are one of the biggest highlights of that film. And the Myers house is a huge part of that. So love the Halloween Kills flashback house. Number 2, Halloween 2. Now, I get it. This is really the same house, right? And the reason it's at number 2 is just because we don't get a whole lot of it, right? But I absolutely love the continuity here. The fact that it is the same house, that everything lines up the same. I mean, it has the gutter is still hanging. I love the attention to detail with the fact that they used the same house, and I just would have liked it to be more of a part of the film, and I guess that's why it's number 2. But I mean, how can I not put it at number 2 when it is the same house, right? So I love this house, and obviously number 1 is gonna be the original. This is iconic. It fits the tone of the film. It absolutely fits the everyday American home, unassuming, a very typical home that you would see anywhere. And that fits Michael, a very typical kid that you would never assume would just decide to kill his sister and become a serial killer. And I mean, it's honestly perfect in my opinion. I love the Myers house. I love how simple it is. I like that it's not out in the country. I like that it's just in the middle of a neighborhood, right? And that's what makes it all the more creepy. So let me know what you guys think. What are your favorite Myers houses? What are your least favorite Myers houses? Let me know in the comments. Gonna continue to do some Halloween rankings here, kind of leading up to October. So let me know if there's anything you guys want to see, you know, Halloween related, or any other franchises you guys want me to talk about. Let me know in the comments. Till then, that's it for now. Look forward to seeing more. Peace, guys.